And you usually should try to get whirlpools, and that makes sure that you're doing your figure eights correctly and you're doing your sculling correctly.
Notice how her body's fully in line, her head is in line with her spine. She's not looking at the water or looking at the ceiling.
You can also do this sculling, turning yourself from side to side so you can simulate the fact that you're rotating your body from side to side. So you can turn your body to the right, you can turn your body to the left. This vertical sculling drill is a great way if you're injured to kind of get around and make sure that you're doing something productive. And for me, vertical sculling was very productive in my situation.
This is sculling with a buoy. Her hands are like a propeller. She's practicing pitching her hands out and then together. Propulsively apart and propulsively together.
You know, one of the main reasons I like to kick with the board is because my freestyle kick is one of my weaker points of my stroke, and I think kicking with the board is really hard for me to do, so the more I do it, the better I'm going to get at it.
Social kicking is fun to do, and it's also good leg exercise. However, it's good if you're going to kick with the board to do most of your practice in a proper position. Proper position is using a good alignment and looking at the bottom of the pool. As her head goes down, her hips come right up to the surface.
Sometimes I like to throw on a snorkel, and this way I can keep my breathing, keep my body position in line, but still be able to kick with the board, which is really, really difficult for me to do.
Okay, we take body position even further on a kickboard by using a snorkel. This way, Lindsay doesn't even need to think about lifting her head to breathe. She just keeps it in the proper position, looking right at the bottom. This brings her hips right to the surface and her body into full line.
We like to kick on our sides, but with our head looking down towards the bottom of the pool, because again, this helps with body position. You also want to make sure when you're doing side kicking, you're not using your upper body. You want to keep your upper body straight. You're just using your legs to do the kicking. You want to make sure that you kick from your knees, but not too much, and you also want to kick from your hips. Kicking is very hard to perfect.
The body is vertically on the side with the opposite shoulder rotated. Her arm is actually out of the water as she exaggerates being on her side. When she's not breathing, she's looking at the bottom of the pool. An advanced version of side kicking is using a front snorkel. This way, Lindsay doesn't need to turn her head to breathe at all. She can keep her body line and focus on the kick drill itself. You can notice on the downbeat of the kick where the knee bends and you get a flipper type action.
When you do this kick drill, it's important. It's the same as side kicking. So you kick 10 kicks on one side and then take a dynamic stroke and do 10 kicks on the other side. The reason we take a powerful stroke from side to side is because when you're swimming, you're taking powerful strokes and you're not being lazy, especially in a race.
focus is on body rotation and overemphasizing. Lindsay's going to exaggerate rolling from a vertical position on the left side to a vertical position on the right side. She takes a quick breath, trying not to lose her line, and focuses on looking at the bottom of the pool.
You're actually kicking on your stomach in this drill with your head looking down towards the bottom of the pool. You're in a nice, tight, streamlined position. When you take your breath, you're actually simulating the fact that you're taking your breath in your stroke. So you have to get onto your side with your arm extended and then quickly back down into the front again.
Although freestyle isn't swum flat on your stomach, in this drill you kick flat on your stomach until you take your breath. And then you overemphasize your body rotation as you take a single stroke and a breath.
I'm a big fan of swimming with a snorkel, even though it's a lot more difficult and the turns aren't so easy. But it really helps me think about when I'm swimming my freestyle that my hips are the first thing that rotate.
Okay, this is full stroke swimming with a front-mounted snorkel.
Getting used to the snorkel is really hard. You have to focus a lot more on your breathing because you're so used to turning your head to breathe. The fact that you can breathe all the time is a little bit more difficult and actually takes a lot of time to learn. But it's really, really important because then you can focus on not turning your head to breathe, and when you want to take a breath, you can without losing your stroke.
Lindsay, I've had the pleasure of coaching you for 9 years, but there's probably a lot of people out there asking, why are you still swimming?
Sometimes I ask myself that same question. But in the Olympics in 2000, I didn't have the meet I wanted. And I was very fortunate enough to get put on that 800 freestyle relay and to be able to win a gold medal. Swim with 3 other great girls that put in their efforts, and we all were up there together, and it was wonderful. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But individually, there are things that I want to prove to the world that I can still do. And that's why I'm still swimming.
I know you've had a lot of very special moments in the sport of swimming, but what do you consider your biggest accomplishment?
A lot of people would probably expect me to say winning an Olympic gold medal, but I think for me, my biggest accomplishment was winning an NCAA championship in 1997. Nothing can surpass that feeling. Nobody expected it, and we did it, and it's probably the happiest day of my life. That's probably my biggest accomplishment.
I'll always remember that smile on your face.
Yeah.
You are considered one of the best, if not the best swimmer in the world in your event, the 200-meter freestyle. Why are you better at 27?
Sometimes I question that myself. The technique that I'm learning, my nutrition is better. I'm enjoying the sport so much more. I've learned so much, from everything that's happened to me, from being in the Olympics, from being injured, from having disappointments, and I'm kind of starting now at 27, putting it all together.
Does anybody ever ask you, Lindsay, what do you want to do when you grow up?
I've been doing this for 20 years, it's my life, it's my job, and it's so fun for me. And when I grow up and when I'm done swimming, I think somehow I want to work in a nonprofit organization. I'd love to do public relations, something that's gonna, I'm gonna be able to use what I've learned through swimming, but I'm also gonna be able to give back to the community, whether it's in swimming or whether it's in some other aspect of life.
Well, I've always admired you because while you have been swimming, you've always given back to younger swimmers, so I know you'll do that well.
I hope so. The next part is you do a flip turn, but then you push off on your back. Oops, or not. The next drill is sorry. Did I get it right? When you're on your side and you're getting ready to take your first stroke, you want to take your first stroke with the arm that your hip is on the closest, I can't say it. You want to take the stroke You want to make sure that your first stroke is with the hand that's on, I can't do it now when I'm rolling. Is that okay? Take your stroke with the hand of the hip that's closest to the bottom of the pool. Did you get that? Okay.